year at Trail Life. Um, Thank you for everybody coming this evening. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Travis Weber. I am stepping in as the role of Troop Master for the upcoming year, hopefully farther. With that, with Mr. Feaster moving on to Chattanooga, so I said I would step in and fill that role. I got big shoes to fill. He's done a great job, so hopefully I can try to live up to that at some point and keep moving us along. So I want to have, if Joel will come up and just open us in a word of prayer, and we'll get going this evening.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we just want to start by thanking you for this program, for these parents, for these children. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to serve them and minister with them in this way. Thank you that we have that opportunity in this country. We have the freedom to be able to do that, and may we not take that for granted. Thank you for those parents that are here this evening and those that hopefully will watch this later and be able to get this information. We pray your blessing upon Trail Life in this coming year. We pray that many young men would grow in their discipleship and in their integrity and in their character, and that they would be stronger followers of you and would serve our world to honor you. We pray that those are the type of things that would happen this evening. That's why we're here. We ask that you would do those things in and through us. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I'm not going to use the mic. Oh, is it on? It is on. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Okay. So I just want to go just a little bit about me. Maybe you don't know who I am. Again, my name's Travis Weber. We've been in Memphis since 2010 when we moved down here. This is my wife, Renee, over here. 2 kids. My son, Cal, is 12. He will be a third-year navigator in the fall. And my daughter, Ruby, is 9. She is in the American Heritage Girls program as well. My wife helps with AHG as well. So we've been around the program for at least 2.5 years. My son started as a second-year mountain lion in Woodlands Trail, and he's done 2 years as navigator. And I was a trail guide for this past year for the navigators. I've enjoyed it, but I guess they need me to step up and do a little bit more. I'm not afraid of that, you know. I'm not afraid of hard work. So I grew up in scouting in the Boy Scouts program. Had a lot of great memories of that program. I was a Cub Scout, Boy Scout, Eagle Scout. I was an Eagle Scout in 1994, so I was 15 years old at the time. I remember when I was a scout, I remember there's a jamboree we went, and Senator Bill Bradley at the time was the speaker, and he made a big deal that he was 13 when he made Eagle Scout. And when I heard that, I said, okay, that's the goal. I didn't get there, so they had to go to 15. No, but I loved the scouting program. As we got older, had kids, I didn't like where the Boy Scouts went, where they're at now. Just didn't like it. And I obviously didn't know about Trail Life till about 3 years ago. My son started asking about camping and stuff, and we had actually friends who were in the troop who are no longer here, the Harringtons. So we came in across the program, and we've loved it since. I enjoy it. I think it's interesting, you know, just considering, you know, the scouting. Obviously, the Boy Scouts are no longer the Boy Scouts, right? That was last week, all the news. They're Scouting USA, right? Or, yeah, Scouting America is now what they call themselves. And it's interesting, the president of Scouting America, he recently shared, he said, our number one job is to get kids in the program. Their number one job. And Trail Life USA CEO Mark Hancock came back and said, our focus is different. Our number one job is to not get kids in the program, but to grow godly men. That should be our focus for this program. I'm upset the way The Boy Scouts have gone. So, Trail Life's mission, they say, is to guide generations of courageous young men to honor God, lead with integrity, serve others, and experience outdoor adventure. And our vision for Trail Life, it specifically says in our handbook, is to be the premier national character development organization for young men, which produces godly and responsible husbands, fathers, and citizens. So it's a big role that we have to step in with raising our boys in this program. Just me, a couple notes that I want to make as far as a vision for the troop going into the future. It's not that we're doing stuff wrong necessarily now. It's just more of a focus. I still want to see growth with our troop. You know, more trailmen, more adult leaders as part. If we can get more in, then it gives us a better opportunity to fill out that mission and vision that we have. Advancement. I want to see more advancement that we have, especially with Woodlands Trails. That's part of my goal this summer, is to work out a program that covers everything. So when they start in the fall and go through that year, we're hitting everything that we're supposed to be hitting. And I want to have all that prepared for the leaders as we go forward, so we see that advancement for these kids as they go. It's a big deal at a court of honor for somebody to come up and get an award. You may say it may be one thing, but it may mean the world to them. So, fun. I want us to still keep having fun. A lot of hit the trails, a lot of campouts, incorporating fun into them. That we have maybe some different activities that we haven't done yet or something. That's why we're having this meeting, so we can get ideas to throw stuff out for what we need. And then also, I want to have us kind of have more of a service to the church that is hosting us. You know, I want us to have more of a relationship with the church here. I know we have a couple service days and services. That's fine. We can do more, I think. I think there's more that we can do besides just a service day in January at the church that we can do more around here. So, as we proceed on, I want to have Joel come up to start talking about some of the aspects of the program that we have. Worthy Life Award. Joel, if you want to.
Yeah, I'd just like to remind everybody every year about the Worthy Life Award. We're working to make young men who follow the Lord, and we want to give them every opportunity to do that. So the Worthy Life Award is an award that they can get at each rank that they are, and it's just it's fairly straightforward. If you want to find out the specific requirements for each of your boys, you can go on Trail Life Connect and find those documents that tell you exactly what they are. But there's basically 4 D's that you just remember. So there's some type of devotional activity that they need to do. Each Tuesday we have a meeting. We start at 6 o'clock, and we have a 30-minute devotional for your boys to be a part of if they would like to be. And I'm pretty sure that covers all of the trailmen as far as their requirement for the devotional activity. They come to that 30-minute period before our meeting the majority of the times throughout the year, then that would suffice for them. Then there's also a discipleship activity, which is some sort of reading a book or doing a service project or some sort of combination of the both, depending on how old they are. That would help them meet that requirement. Then there's some disciplines activities, which are memorizing scripture, keeping a prayer journal, those things that are hard for all of us to do. You know, they're easy to do, but they're hard. And we want to teach boys from a young age to start doing those things so that they become part of their life. And then lastly, there's a demonstration activity, which a lot of times it means they just sit down with me, the chaplain, and kind of tell me what they learned. Tell me the things what God taught them, what it meant for them to memorize scripture or have a prayer journal, those types of things. And as they get a little older, we like for them to stand up in front of their troop and just kind of let the other boys know what they learned. I think that's a really good and important aspect of that demonstration activity. So talk with your boys about it. Let them know that we'll help them get it done. One thing to remind all the parents is that they need to come to me beforehand and kind of let me know what their plan is, so that they're not just haphazard doing whatever they want and then come in the spring or fall and they say, hey, I'm ready to get my Worthy Life Award. This is what I did. They need to come and chat with me about it first and just kind of let me know what they're planning on doing. Parents, you can do that with them. or you can kind of push them just to come talk with me about it one-on-one. But if we can do that, I think we can get a number of boys getting that award, and then teaching them the importance of those disciplines and devotional life that allows them to live a worthy life. So would love to work with you guys on that in any way we can. Thank you.
Even like for the navigators, the top award that you can get as a navigator is called the Ridgeline Award. And you have your badges, but also you need to do your Worthy Life Award as part of it. So that's part of being able to earn the Ridgeline Award. And, you know, again, right away. You know, it's not something you need to do right away. If you want to wait, maybe, okay, I'm going to focus on badges this year. Year 2, I want to focus on Worthy Life. That's what we did with our son this year. You want to get them in a year of navigators and let them get their feet wet, and then say, okay, now let's focus on this. That's the same with Woodlands Trails. You start as a fox, you don't have to do it right away. And then as an adventurer as well, you've got 4 years as well. So it's not something that needs to be done right away, but it's certainly a good program. And I'll echo what Joel said, is it just needs to be approved beforehand. Just can't do it on our own. It says in the book specifically, it lays out, get this approved by the troop chaplain, and go from there. And it will take a year to work through with the devotionals, the readings, the projects that you do. But it is, I think it's beneficial to do. So we hit Worthy Life. We'll go into a little bit of the program. So we have the 3 levels: Woodlands Trail, kindergarten through grade 5, Navigator 6 through 8, and Adventure 9 through 12. So Woodlands Trail, I'll be honest with you, I'm still learning the program. My son was a half year of a mountain lion, so I knew there were some branches that he worked on. I don't know the entire program. That's part of my goal this summer, is as troop masters to be fluent in what needs to be done for the boys as they go forward. For Woodlands Trail, it just spells out exactly more. You get your fox group, hawks, and mountain lion. 3 groups, 5 to 10, acquire knowledge and outdoor skills, citizenship, friendship, and faith, through enjoyable activities, awards, and skill instruction. Boys earn their pins to add to the group patches as they take the program. You first start in year 1, it says joining branches and branch pins. There's 7 branches, 7 pins that you do. And then in year 2 of the program, you do your Forest Award with silver. You have 2 years. You start as a fox in age 5. The first year, you're going to work on your patches, the branch patches and pins. Second year, your Forest Award patches and Sylvan Stars is what we work on going forward. So that's part of the advancement that I want to start planning out on the calendar, so we have it as we go forward. When we get to the end of those years, that the boys have what they need for moving forward. The Woodlands Trail, it's a little easier. It's all participation based. So if you show up for that night that they're covering this lesson, you're going to get signed off for that. As we go up, and you'll see, you know, we move out of the participation phase and actually demonstrating and leading of what has to be done. But that is for Woodlands Trail. Jeff Lisco, if you'd like to come up, just to give he's going to give a brief.
Good evening. How are you guys? Good, good. My name is Jeff Lisco. I am the trail master for the Navigators. So that can't see these days. So that is the boys between 11 and 13. Okay, this would be the next step up from Woodland Trails. So we have 3 ranks in the 11 to 13-year-old boys, and that would be recruit, able, and ready. Generally, like he was saying, it would take about 2 years to complete the entire program. You may be able to do it in 1 year if you can focus hard on it, but generally it takes about 2 years to get through. So in this program, it is not participation based. you are going to participate, but you also have to actually work at badges, show that you're proficient at badges, and that would be showing me or one of our trail guides, and we have to sign off on these badges. So really, it is more responsibility as you move up, and we expect more of you. We're here to mentor these boys into becoming young Christian men. So we are not just teaching them skills, outdoor skills. We're teaching them leadership skills. We're teaching them principled life, being Christian, father, community leader. This is where this begins. We start with this. We're big on responsibility. We're big on accountability. We will expect them at all times to conduct themselves. So generally, our program philosophy, is understanding. So they're really not going to come in with a lot. We don't expect them to have a lot of skills in the things that we're going to teach. We're going to teach them, and then they're going to give it back to us, and then when they're proficient, they're actually going to teach other student or other trailmen of their age or younger. So that's kind of how it goes. First you teach, I will show you, then you will show me, and then you will teach another group. So that's generally how that goes. Our program has 9 core badges, and it usually takes, we will go through all of the core badges in a year, but you may not get all of those badges. You can if you work at it, but generally it takes a year to 2 years to get them. So our core badges involve aquatics. So basically we're going to teach, you're going to know how to swim, but you're also going to know how to do rescue, cold water, immersion, different things, and we'll go through all of that stuff. We're going to do camping. That involves how to set up a campsite, how to set up latrines, those kind of things, where we're going to do that, how to dress and be ready for the elements that we're going to have to deal with. Fire ranger. So basically, we're going to teach you how to build your own fire, maintain your own fire, and control your fire, and be able to extinguish it when you leave. This is a big skill that we are really, really harping on. There's a lot of safety in this. You can actually be injured. So again, this is the responsibility, and we are going to be really closely monitoring and on all of this stuff. You cannot do anything around the fire until you get the fire ranger badge, and then once you do that, then it will be a controlled environment, but you will be allowed to work with it. Same thing for outdoor cooking. We're going to teach you how to cook outdoors. This is everything from cooking on a propane stove and starting it to being able to cook on open fire using nothing more than a stick. And we'll teach you how to do all of those things. We'll also teach you how to do sanitation, plan meals, what you can use and can't use, and how to prepare, and those kind of things. Rope work, this one is probably the least favorite of all the boys, but probably one of the most useful things you'll use is we're going to teach you how to do knots, lash structures together, and that kind of thing. Very good skill. Trail skills, we'll be doing that. Trail skills are basically we're going to teach you how to pack your bag, how much weight distribution you're going to do. There's going to be some navigation in there. We're going to teach you how to use a compass. We're going to teach you how to do basically land map, which is a very good skill. And most people don't know how to do that anymore, but we're going to talk about that, about distancing, pacing, what's expected on the trail, and some skills on how that you can do to do that. Next is first aid. We're going to teach you a little more than basic first aid. Actually, first aid is one of the biggest badges we do. It takes several weeks. But you will be certified if you go all the way through the badge and take the class. You'll actually be certified in first aid, CPR. So that's a good skill. So we'll do woods tools. So we're going to teach you how to use axes, how to use knives, how to use saws. Again, this is very, I won't say dangerous, but we're going to expect a certain level of decorum when it comes to these things. You can be injured in this, but it's a great skill set that we will teach you, and you will be proficient at this. And then the last one is our flag. This is very important how we will respect the U.S. flag, also the Trail Life flag. You will be taught how to do ceremonies. You will be expected to participate in flag raising, any other, we do flag retiring, and all of this comes with that. And you'll have to know the order of the flags, how they're oriented, depending on the situation. So that's it. On top of that, we have electives. You can have as many electives as you want. You can do 2, you can do 10. They are your choice. If you're into basketball, you can make an elective for it. You can make your own badge. There's a small requirement that we'll talk about that you have to kind of follow a guideline, but it can be whatever. If you're into shooting, into fishing, anything like that, auto repair, you want to learn, and if you're not sure where to look, but it's something you're interested in, come see us, and we will find you some materials that you could work off of. We have some that did speech and debate. That was their elective. We had a kid that did jiu-jitsu. That was his elective. So we're pretty open on all of those things, and it's a really good badge because you also expose other trailmen to what your interests are. So that's very cool. So we have badges. We do 9 of those throughout the year. We have plus the electives, and then we go camping, or what they call hit the trail, several times a year. I would say every month, but that is not exactly, because some months we have other activities that will be substituted for the camping. But generally, about every month we go somewhere. They're usually in state parks within 2 hours of here. We do that because we would like to camp 2 days. If we have to go further than that, like last year we went to Cumberland Caverns. It was a 4-hour drive, so we could only stay 1 night. But generally, they're all 2 hours or less from here, and we work on all of these badge work generally at those campouts. In addition to on Tuesday. Tuesday nights really is a limited amount of time that we have with them. Maybe an hour and 20 minutes by the time we've done everything else. This I get you for 48 hours. So we'll be doing that. And we'll be working on several different badges. And some kids may not be working on the same badge. Some kids may already have it. Some kids may be helping, or trailmen may be helping other trailmen to do that. So that's generally what we do. We do still have free time to fellowship at these campouts. Play football, tug of war. We do generally a lot of things. They have a lot of free time. So we encourage them. We encourage them to make friends and to become, because these are your lifeline friends. I mean, this is what our hope is. We want you to have a friend group that align with your values. So that's what we're trying to do. And there's nothing better than putting 20 trailmen together to work out a task for 48 hours that they can't escape from. They just have to do it. You'll see that they'll grow really fast, and they'll start leaning on each other. And the friendships, the bonds will really come, because you can't just decide that you're not going to do it. Service hours as well. So we're expected for all of this to get all the ranks. You're going to have to do service hours, and that is outside of here, and that cannot be community. We expect you to do this. It's a great experience. My son, this will be he is actually moving up into next phase, which are ventures, but he's been a navigator 3 years. And the difference between when he started and when he is now is phenomenal. I think we can do that with any trailman that's willing to put the work in. You'll be surprised too. Also, we're big on respect. So, yes sir, yes ma'am. We're going to teach all of that stuff. It's a great experience. And our at the end, and like all they've all said as well, is, I mean, we're making Christian men. This is our goal. So yes, they'll have skill sets, but at the end, we're looking for Christian valued husbands, community leaders, fathers, brothers, friends. That is our ultimate goal. We work toward that. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, just to reiterate those points as far as with, that's where you see the difference between the let them step up and do what they want. You know, all the electives, there's a lot of stuff, like Jeff said, that they do just on a normal basis, that there's a badge already in Connect program that they can just pull up, finish those requirements, turn it into us, and they get it done. Like Jeff said, all the campouts, we usually have a badge that we're focusing on. This weekend we have a camp out up at Fort Pillow where they're doing a lot of the navigators and adventurers are teaching the Woodlands Trail skills. That's part of the requirement for the ready. They have to teach the younger ones skill sets. That's part of what they do. So we work all that stuff in so they can build toward those ranks. Frazier Thompson, he's our advisor for the adventurers program. You want to come up and just say a few words about the
Very few. First of all, let me get a understand. Who is brand new to the trail life? Never been. So most of you know. So that's why it's going to be very few. As you heard from Travis and Jeff, as you get older, you expect more out of them, right? And that's where we are with the adventure program. With the navigators, an understanding. They have to demonstrate an understanding. With the adventurers, I expect them to be able to train somebody else on. So that's developing an expertise, right? And my role is titled advisor. I'm not there telling them what to do. This Trail Life is meant to be a trailman-led organization. It's taken us a while, but we're getting there. And as Travis said before, his goal is maybe to grow the troop, not to get numbers, but to have successful program, you need more people. You need more trailmen. You need more leaders to help guide this. So last year was a big jump. How many? Now I think we had. We had a lot, and then a lot of those came up to adventurers. We had 8, 9, 10 regular adventurers. So we had a really good program. I'm expecting that to continue. It's going to be more high adventure. As you get older, you got the navigators are expected to fill leadership roles and basically set the agenda and lead. As I said, we're working towards that, and I'm going to expect them to do that more this year. I'm going to be there in an advising role. It's going to be high adventure. We have some core badges that we have to work on that you can read in here, and it's more. I'm looking at, and what the adventure program is supposed to do is build and develop their initiative, self-motivation, and ability to not only lead themselves, but lead others. Can't do it, as Jeff said, there's no way we can accomplish these programs meeting twice a month and expect to be successful. They have to work, to include the navigators, have to work outside of the Tuesday night meetings. They'll never accomplish everything that they need, especially the adventurers. There's a lot of core badges, in addition to the core badges that they can still earn, the navigator badges, the adventurers can still earn and will earn the navigator badges that they haven't earned already. So we're going to continue to work on that. So just a lot to do outside of the regular trail life meetings. So if your trailmen are only thinking about trail life on Tuesday nights, they're not going to enjoy the program as much and not going to accomplish the badge work they need. I'm going to be around for additional questions exactly on the adventure program, but anybody looking for a place to serve needs some help. Not looking at anybody in particular. But we can
So just go, I mean, everything that we do is the patrol method that we do. 6 to 8 trailmen per patrol is the goal. 1 trail guide, 2 to 3 registered adults for that group. That's our goal that we set. This is just planning for next year of what our numbers kind of look like, so you can kind of see where needs are. Fox Patrol, we only got 2 right now that should be in the Fox Patrol for next year. That's probably going to get added as we get more people come in by the fall, but right now we just got 2 proposed for this coming school year. And that's just because as groups move up, which is good. The Hawks, we're going to have 15. So we'll have 2 patrols there. We'll need more trail guides, more registered adults. I'll go into that here in a little bit. But you see how these groups are going to get bigger as we go. The Mountain Lions, we'll have 16. 2 patrols again there. We'll still need more trail guides and registered adults. Navigators, there you go. 22 again proposed for this coming year. We'll have 3 patrols there is what we'll have. So every group we're going to need more people to step up and help out with these groups. Adventurers, at least 12 is what you'll have. So it may be something, maybe we do need 2 patrols. We'll see, depending on how much help we can get for you, but that's just, what we kind of have there. And I'll just say, anybody out there, if you're thinking about, being a trail guide is not hard. It's not. I know it may sound like a daunting task. Oh, I got to prepare a lesson, everything like that. That's my job for a lot of this stuff. If we have a calendar set, and say this is what we're focusing on, then that should already be there that okay, this is what I can focus on. Any lessons that we do during a school year doesn't have to come from a trail guide. It could be a parent or a grandparent, somebody who say, hey, I know first aid. I want to focus on this. Can I teach the group? Yeah, we'd love to. So part of this again is just part of my role as the troop master is to have a lot of this stuff prepared for Woodlands Trail. So to have a calendar set. Okay, so you say, okay, this meeting we're going to do this, and I've got these people. Maybe somebody can talk about this. So that's just it's not, to me, it's not a daunting task. Again, it sounds like it. Trail guide, oh, I got to help out and wrangle these younger ones, but it's not too bad. You want to show the video now? Will that work, you think? Okay. Yeah. Can we do that, Joel?
Hey parents, are you wondering how to use this? I did too. So I thought I would help out and walk you through it. So this is the handbook, Trailmen handbook, and as you flip through and you see everything that is going on here, you've got the awards and all that kind of stuff. So this is really going to walk you through exactly how your trailman is going to level up, and how he can be encouraged to level up as well, no matter what the age or anything like that. So if you start kind of at the beginning here with how the program works, what you're doing is you are learning exactly how these patches work. The joining award, it explains it right there. You've got the branches and what they each mean. So it's pretty good to read through all of those branches. I'm basically just trying to make sure you know what's in here because it can be a lot to read through. You have the Forest Award. So once you have collected every branch to go with your patch, right, your Trailman's patch, then you move on to the Forest Award for whatever level you're at, and you get stars. You get Sylvan stars to go with it. So basically your Trailman can level up the 2 years that they're in each level. They can kind of continue to level up, through branches and stars. This is a very cool award. So it's the Worthy Life Award. Obviously, Trail Life has an emphasis on the spiritual development of young men as well. Some of these happen through the branches and through the disciplines that they learn and everything. They should be happening through that. The Worthy Life Award is really cool because It addresses specifically areas of a trailman's life and rewards him for it. So you get these, it's 3 different levels to cover every level covered in trail life. The woodlands is down here on the bottom in the green, and you're able to get little stars, not stars, crosses. You're able to get crosses for completing the Worthy Life Award. So I think the goal is basically to get a cross per level, right? Foxes, hawks, and mountain lions. But the requirements of that are not in the book, and it's very confusing because there's different requirements for each level. They are in your trail life system under awards, I believe it is, awards and recognition or something like that. You click on that and it lists every award you could possibly get in trail life. You look up the Worthy Life Award for your trailman's level, and it lists it explicitly. It's a PDF, 2 pages. It'll tell you exactly what your trailman needs to complete to get that cross. It is available online via your interface, your Trail Connect interface. Then we have the Timberland Award. That is only mountain lion trailmen. So the requirements are in here, actually in here, as opposed to the PDF online and the online system. So this is a great place to start. Where do we go? Where do we start? We're starting on the joining badge. All of the requirements are in here. Then, like I said, you level up. These are all of the requirements for your joining badge. It's very simple to get that as soon as you join. That's the uniform, don't need that. What I'm trying to get to is how do you advance? So this is chapter 5, it's literally on page 27 in the edition that I have. And basically, these are all the requirements per level. Okay, here's the breakdown. To get your branch pin and your silver star. Okay, you've got all of your core steps, your elective steps, and your hit the trail activities. So something that's incredibly important to know is these matter. As in, when you go to a troop meeting, your trailman is completing core steps and often elective steps. Okay, that's where they are getting how that counts. Okay, it's not some thing they do on their own time. This is largely gotten through attendance. So attend your troop meetings. You'll complete your core steps. You will complete your elective steps. And your hit the trail activities, I didn't know this when we first started, they're incredibly important too. You really need to go to those hit the trails because you've got 7 branches to fulfill. And those hit the trails will only count for a couple of branches, over the 2 years for your levels as you level up. So you need to be very aware. Attend troop meetings because that's where you're getting your core steps and your elective steps. Attend your hit the trails and go on the campouts. The campouts count for different things sometimes. Often a hit the trail or something like that. So attend those. Attendance. It's a huge thing. Attendance is what gets you here. Okay, that's how your trailman completes these things. Now, let's say you miss a meeting. You miss a couple of meetings. That means your trailman has not gotten some core steps or some elective steps. Okay, so what you're going to do right after that guide, right after it tells you your requirements, it's got these cool little tabbies right here, and each tab is one of the branches. So this is the heritage branch. It's the first one, and as you go through, it goes in the exact same order. Core steps, it tells you what they're going to be learning and what it means and why. Elective steps, it tells you what they should be learning and why. And again, those are all through troop meetings and attendance and all that kind of stuff. The hit the trail activities, brief blurb on that. But here is the key. If you miss a meeting, if you miss a hit the trail, ask your trail guide what it counted for, okay? So if you missed the meeting that included Founding Fathers, that's a core step. You're not going to get a silver star. You might be able to get a branch, but I'm just saying, if you don't attend, you're going to be missing these. So let's just say you miss Founding Fathers. That's okay. You need to, when you miss a meeting, go to your trail guide and say, what did I miss? Because you missed something, okay? Go back to your trail guide and say, what did I miss? And he'll say, oh, you missed Founding Fathers tonight. Well, that means that what you need to do, you go back to the family home activities right here, and it's got lists for fox, hawk, and mountain lion, and they are all separate. There are different activities for every level, so pay attention to that. But if you miss a meeting, you missed Founding Fathers, let's say, you can complete 2 family home activities for every 1 thing that you miss. And you're limited in how much you can make up, okay? So you can make up 1 thing in 1 branch per year. So you missed Founding Fathers because you missed a troop meeting. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Do 2 of these family home activities, report it back to your guide, which ones you did and what that looked like and the date and everything. And then that's counted in the system to make up for 1 missed thing. So more than likely, you're going to be making up hit the trails that you're not able to attend because they're on Saturdays and it can be hard to make those up. Or you're making up troop meetings where you could actually miss multiple core steps. Troop meetings are incredibly important. So don't miss troop meetings. But you can make them up with family home activities. There have been kids that are so close to getting branches or stars because they are missing just 1 thing. This is where you go. So for every branch, all right, I mentioned the tabs, right? We're moving over to the other tab, the next tab here. There's more family home activities to help make up for things that you missed during meetings or hit the trails, okay? For every tab, see all those tabs? At the end of every single section, you have family home activities that you can complete. You need to report them to your trail guide to get credit, and when you do, it'll calculate it in the system and make sure that you're getting credit for the 1 thing that you've missed. But again, you can only make up 1 thing per branch every year. Okay, it's not going to be able to make up for a whole lot of things. So, beyond that, what's really cool about this book, it's got a chart. So this is the Fox chart. Hawk. Is this Hawk? No, that's not Hawk. What is this? There's the Hawk. We're getting to the Hawks. There we go. There's a whole section for Hawks, and there's another section for mountain lions. Now, the thing about this, the thing that you need to know is these books are important. They don't seem important, but they are, because what you're going to do is you're going to go to your section, say you're moving up to mountain lion, and you are going to fill in all your requirements. This is exactly where you would fill in requirements. Oh, I did this tonight at my meeting. I got this date, and I got my trail guide signature. Every trail guide is going to have different requirements to say that you did learn that thing, perhaps. But this book is where you get it signed. We have a computer system, and that's amazing, and we count it in the computer system. It's kept track of through the computer system. But you are expected to bring, your trailman is expected to bring their guidebook. They are expected to know what's expected of them in these requirements, and they're expected to know what they learned. They're expected to know what they learned that night. So this is where you write down the date and the step number and the trail guide initials, okay? Every trailman should have this with them, and it doesn't matter if you're just starting, as in you've been in Foxes and you're halfway through Hawks. Start keeping track of this. It's going to teach your trailman responsibility, and it's going to teach them how to understand the requirements that are expected of them and how they're doing. The more this gets filled in, the happier they are, the more that they know they've done something really amazing, and they know that they're accomplishing something by coming to the troop meetings, participating, and by going to the hit the trails and participating with their friends. So those are the most important things about the guide, and all of the requirements that are in here. As you get higher up, you get into mountain lion things. There are a few extra things, your fire card, your fire safety, the Woodsman Award, the Timberland Award. All of those requirements are here. Please ask your trail guide if you have any questions about that and you're like, this isn't very specific. Can you tell me more about it? Absolutely. They can tell you more. You just need to ask. But the preliminary requirements are in this guide. So now you know everything that's in this guide. It's everything that's required. Every way that your trailman is going to level up. Every way that if you run into, oh, I couldn't attend a meeting or I couldn't attend to hit the trail, you communicate with your guide and you ask them, what did I miss? And you'll know from here what branch it's on and how to make it up with your family home activities. Any questions? Ask your trail guide.
And obviously the book is part of our uniform, our handbook. That's part of the uniform that needs to be brought. And just going through like what was said in there as far as, the steps that are needed, I'm going through to try to help out with Woodlands Trail to come out with a actual program that can be used to follow all these steps that we're hitting all these points that were brought up. And this is for any age group, any of the stuff that we're doing at home, it's pretty easy. If you do something at home, write it up, have a parent sign it. Hey, my son did this, take a picture, bring it in, show us, We may ask a question just to see, but, just so we have, know what's going on with those at-home stuff. So, want to have Matt, you want to come up? Matt Herndon on onboarding. Just have a few things to go over. Okay, yeah.
Hi, I'm Matt. Most of y'all already know me. I'm more for new parents, but I want to be asked to be talked about is more like the uniforms, fees, things like that. For everybody, our national fees look like they have gone up. The youth fee has gone up to $37.97. That's yearly, right? Or is that? And then for the registered adults, we've gone up to $43.19. For new parents, goes straight to national. That we don't see either of those fees. That's more for insurance through Trail Life. We're still keeping our Trailman's fees at $50 a person, and that covers the advancement awards that we give them throughout the year. The uniform, I've got a sheet for anybody who needs it. Kind of breaks down what we require. It's the troop shirt, shoulder loops that go with what patrol they're in, an activity shirt more for the campouts and the hit the trails. We require pants with belt loops. That's your choosing, pants or shorts with belt loops. We require the belt, hoping that you will get pants that have a belt loop on them. Closed-toe shoes. That is a Trail Life national thing. All Trail Life events have to have closed-toe shoes. Then the hat is a green on green for the boys. I don't think anybody's wearing their hat today. Travis is wearing his hat, black on black. All the adults, we ask them to get the black on black. Boys wear green on green. There's a tricolor one. If any of you the boys have the tricolor one, we're not going to make you buy the green on green, but we are asking if you buy a new hat for your boy to get the green on green. Lanyard, which you see Travis and Jeff wearing, that's boys and all of our registered adults will wear that. I didn't wear mine today. That lets you know if you see an adult with that, they've gone through our background check and the child safety training that is required for all our registered adults. They've kind of hit on it a little bit. We have a ratio that we have to meet per Trail Life, and it's a minimum of 2 adults with all our troops. So if our foxes stay at two kids, we still need 2 adults with those foxes. The younger they are, the ratio is smaller. I think it is like a 2 to 6 with the young ones. But all our guys, we have a minimum of 2 registered adults. Travis will probably hit on this in a second. We do require all family members to have at least 1 registered adult in our troop to help us with that. If you show up to a meeting, if you're registered, have the lanyard, you don't even have to teach. You just have to be in there to help us with our ratio. The handbook, they just talked about that. That's required. All this, we have a sheet up here. We'll pass it out to you. Breaks down everything where you need to go. For now, I'm the onboarding chair. You can come talk to me. My number's at the bottom of this. Nathan is our committee chair. He's not here. He's got called out for work. He's also a good one to talk to. One thing I've been kind of realizing we kind of hitting at it, but not saying it. If you pay attention to our patrols, we have ages. We don't have grades. They age out at 18. Once they hit 18, they can no longer be part of our patrol. And there's something that we might be able to do later called guide on. We don't do that right now. Once they hit 18, they are out. They can possibly come back to help us with the registered adult, but they do have to become a registered adult once they hit 18. They are aged out. I just wanted to kind of hit that. Also, we have enrollment windows. I know you missed it last year, barely. That is to help us kind of with the chaos of kids slowly adding throughout the year. That we had that a couple years ago, and our trail guides had trouble keeping track of who was with them and how all the advancements. So we do keep our enrollment windows. We do it all. August is when we start. We do all of August is our own enrollment window. You can come and try it out. You don't have to enroll right off. And then January, again, we do it at the beginning of each semester. I'll be here at the end if you have any questions for me. Like Travis said, like I said, we have the stuff over here, and we're going to hit on everything forms you need later. I think that's all I had. So.
The uniform, again, list is here. Our son is getting bigger. Group you're at. Okay, you get the line. If you just need individual things, that's fine as well. But yeah, handbook, lanyard, and everything in here. So we'll have this up here. Packets up here as well for everybody for the fall. As far as like the dues, you know, usually that's by July or August when people start getting the reminders, hey, you're up to renew. I checked mine today, and mine's for August for both me and my son. So just right before we start the program in the fall, you're probably going to get messages saying, hey, it's time to renew your Trail Life membership. So you can take one of those so you at least have what it is. We didn't change really any of our policies for next year. These packets will have it all in here. But just to hit some of this, what Matt said, at least one parent from each household will be required to become a registered adult. That helps us in maintaining our child safety ratios. So like Matt said, you don't have to do anything. We just need you to register, show up. You know, if you drop off a meeting, that's fine, but we need those for our ratios. Parent participation is always welcomed. If you want to take the lead on something, want to hit the trail or a meeting, we got no issue with that. Get with a trail guide, with that you're at. We'll certainly find something for you can do. The Foxes, this is the same as last year. For the age 5 to 6, will require a parent in the room on meeting nights unless precluded by being in another Trail Life or AHG room. You get a group of 5 to 6-year-olds, as Eric, I'm sure, knows, they like to be a little bit rambunctious at times. So, you know, to help those trail guides, we will require a parent in the room, and like I said, unless somebody else need to be in another room. Camping for Woodlands Trail is not required, but in order for a trailman to participate in the overnight portion, the attendance of his father will be required. That's the same that we're having a camp out this weekend with everybody. So anybody Woodlands Trail that's coming, you need to be there with your son. And then also in here, this just has a breakdown of the forms that we require for you to turn in: health insurance, the health form. We have in here our troop discipline policy and the Trail Life USA personal firearm policy. So this is all in here for you to review. And then it has the youth member participant medical form in here as well. This does not have to be filled out by a doctor, the youth form, but it all needs to be turned in for when we start the year coming in August. I have a pile for Woodlands Trail. Then for the navigators and adventurers, there is a separate high adventure form that does need to be filled out by a doctor. Some of these adventures that we do, they're more rigorous, so it's just a form that Trail Life needs to have on hand for high adventure. And that's the same. I have some adult forms as well for us that we have to fill out as well for doing the same activities. So that's all. So we'll go through a few things calendar-wise that we're already planning. We already kind of have sort of an outline that we're working on for next year. These are a few of the ones. We'll have this finalized sometime probably by June of what's happening. So you have, but these are just a few of the highlights that are upcoming. We will have a parent registration meeting on August 6th. These will be Tuesdays. And then the 20th of August, we'll have our crossover ceremony for the boys who are moving up to their next levels. Navigators becoming adventurers, mountain lions becoming navigators. We'll have all that on the 20th. We'll do it outside, out here. You can see our meetings. We meet on the first and third Tuesday here over in the fellowship hall over there, 6:30 to about 7:45. We're usually done by 8, about that time frame. And then the weekend following the second Tuesday is when we have our campouts for the adventurers, navigators, and the hit the trails for Woodlands Trails. Except October and March, that's because of fall break, spring break. We usually take off during that time. The fourth Tuesday, we have committee meetings. We may move those from Tuesday nights next year. We'll see about that. But if we do, then we will certainly pass that along. A couple more things that we already know. The Christmas parade here in Collierville should be the 6th of December. That's tentative that we have. And then our first fall Court of Honor should be the 10th of December. The wreath laying that we do out at the cemetery there in Memphis for the Christmas wreath should be the 21st. And then already planning out for 2025, we've got the Service Day and Trailmen Sunday there in January, our pancake breakfast fundraiser for February, and then already parent meeting for the following year and a Court of Honor for May of next year. So we, in the meantime, have some other dates as far as campouts. We have not finalized completely yet where we're going. So these were some examples of hit the trails that we did this past year, or we plan to. Waterfield Day, archery, fishing, high point climbing, metal museum, Nerf battle. They've done those. And the campouts, these are some of the ones that we've done. Some of them we haven't done yet, but they're on there. Aquatics, usually the first event for the Navigators Adventurers in the fall is an aquatics event. We usually do it at Fraser's house. They let us use their pool, and we get all the boys out there and we go through the aquatics badge pretty good. It's usually a good time to start right there in August. It's nice and hot. Get them out in the pool for the day doing stuff. We go up to Meeman and Shelby quite a bit. We did Cumberland Caverns last year. We're probably not going to do that again this year. That might be an every other year trip. That was a very interesting trip. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But we all made it through. But you get somebody like me trying to get them through something called the birth canal. I got through, but it took me a while. Then what was the other one? Lemon squeeze? Was that it? That one was terrible. I was on my side snaking through this tunnel. I don't know how long, but it was not fun. It was a good trip. It was fascinating to be in that cavern, but it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So I don't think we're going to do that this year. But that was kind of one that we branched out farther than we normally have. I got USS Alabama on there. I'd like to probably try to do that this year, come maybe February or March down in Mobile. It's a little bit of a farther haul, but I think it would be worth it to do it. There's some electives for, I know, Navigators Adventures that we can certainly work in there, to experience that. So Natchez Trace, we did that last year. We're doing the troop trip this year to Fort Pillow. So part of that on there is, so this is kind of like question time for anything that you got for me. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to find out for you, or maybe somebody else here does have the answer. It doesn't even have to be a question. Feedback of what we can do better, what I can do better, what any of us can do better. As far as hit the trails, you have an idea, campouts, where to go, anything like that. Fire matters, because we want to try to incorporate as much as we can. I know we've hit a lot of the state parks in West Tennessee. We maybe venture to Arkansas, this coming year and see if anybody has an idea of where to go, fire it at me. So this is a perfect time. Questions, feedback, anything, whatever you got. Yeah, that's fine. No. A lot of the, the campouts, what we will do is we will work with the adventurers, our patrol leaders, the troop patrol leader, and see what they want to do as well. It'll be on our calendar once we get it finalized of where we're going. We'll have that on there so everybody knows kind of idea what we'll do. I mean, the hard part is finding a place to go in January and February. It is. Yes, Frazier. Yes, sir. I have thoughts. I haven't gotten too far in that process, but that is something that we're going to have to do. I would like to do some. Yeah, we do not. The idea, obviously, I would like to do a fundraiser for the fall, and then do one. And I know we do our pancake breakfast in February, but I'd like to do another one in addition in the spring as well. But that is something we will try to do. So, anybody has any ideas on that? Certainly let me know. Yes, that is still the cutoff, yes. Okay. Just last slide. So just needs, like Frazier was saying. So we will need trail guides for Woodlands Trails, registered adults. Again, we're going to have one from each household that does. I will reach out to people. I'm not going to pressure anybody. I mean, that's the same as it was brought to me. At the time when I first got here, I couldn't help as much as I wanted to. Then I got to the point, okay, I can do this. So I'm not going to pressure anybody, but these are needs that we will have. Event camp-out planners, outdoor event that's going to hit the trails, fundraising, advancement chair. So there are positions available. If you want to help, come to me, come to Matt, Nathan, and say, hey, this is what I'm good at. Maybe I can help here, something to that effect. So any other questions for me or anything? No? That's good, right? No. But if you think of anything, let us know. Reach out to us and see. My goal as well moving forward is to try to get leaders together at some point in June and July. I just don't want everybody showing up August 6th and we not have an idea of what's happening. So I'm going to what can we just even show up here on a Saturday morning or Sunday afternoon, talk about what's coming up, just so we've got more of a jump. So we're not, again, showing up in August and just scrambling, okay, what's happening, what's going on, that sort of thing. I am a prepared person. I like to get stuff prepared and be ready. That's part of my job. I'm an air traffic controller. I got 10 things working out the whole time, trying to prioritize in my head, so that the whole time with Trail Life, I'm going to be doing the same thing. Okay, what needs to be done? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I appreciate you listening to it. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, it is. And that's part of what I'm going to try to do, at least for Woodlands Trail, because that seems to be, and again, that's the program that I'm not most familiar with, just because my son didn't really go through it. But the idea is I want to have a plan for them for each branch. Okay? So year one, here's your core, here's your core, here's your elective. And different electives that are going out. Flag etiquette, early American. The idea that I want to have, you know, and work with me on it, is to have that planned out. So when we get the calendar in August, you know exactly, okay, this is what's going to be handled at these meetings. So you know, okay, if I'm going to miss that meeting, now I need to go to my book and see what I need to make up for that. So it is realistic to say, okay, because we have the 7 branches, year one, 7 stars for year 2 for those programs. So that is the goal of mine, is to have that program set up. So when we finish year 1, if you've been to every meeting, every hit the trail, boom, you're getting everything to that effect. Year 2, you know, same thing. So that is the goal moving forward. Navigators and adventurers, it's certain. Yeah. Yeah. Last fall, the first event we did was the aquatics event. We go through everything. They don't make it if they're not there, or if they don't finish something, they at least know where they're at. Hey, I need to work on this. Maybe something where they just have to complete a task. Oh, do it at the Y. The lifeguard to sign off. About we did first aid up at Natchez Trace. Oh, we did that Saturday. We went on it. And that's what we plan out on these calendars for the boys and girls. The only part that we don't really do, that's more on their own to do stuff that they're already doing. Reading, any sports that they do, pet care, anything. And we, depending on where we go, a good example is when we went to Cumberland Caverns this year. We made a badge. We made an elective badge for. So and you can do that in the Trail Life program with the Navigators Adventures. You can create your own badge, and it's basically using the same steps. Take a badge that's similar. So I think they had one that was for rock climbing that was already in there. Well, rock climbing's close, but we took a lot of the same characteristics, changed it, fit what we needed for spelunking in there, added some knots, added some different Bible verses to the. We create that elective. That's part of the reason why I want to do USS Alabama. There's a military heritage elective that we can say, okay, we're doing this trip, and we're going to work this in as we go. You know, we had 4 hours of driving to go Cumberland Caverns. We had a list. We were peppering them with questions the whole way on caves. And it'd be the same thing going down for military heritage. You know, so there is some of that stuff that we will work on as we go throughout the year. But a lot of the badges, you know, that we have, we're going to plan out. So, okay, we're going to hit this, we're going to hit this, we're going to hit this. So we go in that cycle. So as the new ones come in, we're not really missing anything. And the good part about that is as they get the badge, they got the aquatics badge last August, Now, when we start this program in August, again, we go to do the Quad-X badge. We're looking for those guys that have the badge. They're the ones who are going to be leading the ones that don't. That's the way it's designed. So when they get the badge, they should be proficient in it to be able to lead the others in that accomplishing it as they go. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and we can certainly, I made a note of that to see, okay, if we do have a cancellation, how we can make that up. Yeah, and maybe we can incorporate 2 in 1 or something. Yeah, I've got no issue with that, trying to figure out if we miss something because of weather, how we can fix that. You have another question? Yeah. Okay, so Woodlands Trail, I'll try my best because I haven't got into it too much. But basically it is you take different, let me see, you don't have, you have your book on you? Yeah, can you say the different branch names by chance for me? So and then each of those branches, and it's hard to see, but so like on the left underneath the box, that first tree, there's 7 different colors on that tree. Each color represents a different step or branch in the book there. Yes. Yeah. So